The ANC has resolved to expel its former president, Jacob Zuma, after months of contention on the issue. The party's National Disciplinary Committee found him guilty of contravening the ANC's constitution. This after he announced last year that he would campaign and vote for the newly established uMkhonto Sizwe party. Our reporter Ziyanda Ngcobo joins me live in studio. Very good afternoon to you, Ziyanda. What did Fikile Mbalula say were the reasons for this delay in the first place?
Well, Fikile Mbalula says that there was a lot of debate in the party, which I think is pretty much public knowledge in terms of when exactly would have been the best time to launch the salvo, because you'll remember that the former president announced on the 16th of December, just before all political parties began that campaign, and there was some sentiment that if you expel him before the election, you'll make him a martyr. Nevertheless, you can't really tell how this situation would have unfolded. But I want to take us back to the interview I did with the former president and how he viewed his move, because Mbalula says not only did he initially endorse the uMkhonto Sizwe party, then went on to lead it whilst claiming that he's still a member of the ANC.
I will die in the ANC.
Okay.
And I am
whilst
doing
being
this.
a leader of the MK party.
Exactly.
So after elections, does it mean you're taking that constituency to the ANC?
No.
How are you rescuing the
listen
ANC
to me
by leading another party? How does that work?
Telling you, my good sister.
It's a contradiction.
Because you don't understand what is called a political something.
What?
So, my sister, he has 21 days within which to, appeal this decision. Do you think he's going to?
Well, given what he'd said in May, I do expect that he will, but also it's because if you look at what the MK party statement has had to say in reaction to this, they've basically described the process as a kangaroo court. They've accused Fikile Mbalula of intimidation tactics, sending Tony Yengeni messages, trying to intimidate him, because you'll know Tony Yengeni was representing Zuma in the National Disciplinary Committee hearings. And so at this stage, we've heard from saying that they will, the legal team will study what has been said. But interesting that the, the Secretary General really going quite hard at the former president and basically saying that there are some quarters in the ANC who've said this is actually far too late. Let's listen to what he said earlier at Luthuli House.
Jacob Zuma has actively impugned the integrity of the ANC and campaigned to dislodge the ANC from power, while claiming that he had not severed his membership. This conduct is irreconcilable with the spirit of organizational discipline and letter of the ANC Constitution. Furthermore, former President Zuma has been running on a dangerous platform that casts doubt on our entire constitutional edifice. He has meted out a host of anti-revolutionary outbursts, including mischievously calling into question the credibility of our electoral processes without cause and discrediting the rationale of our judicial system.
And of course, Davi, I mean, there's lots of questions now, about why the MK party is so bothered anyway that, former President Jacob Zuma has been expelled. And Mbalula addressing that to say they charged their member in the form of former President Jacob Zuma, not the MK party. So in essence, in a roundabout way, he was saying it's none of their business.
The ANC did not charge a party called MK, charged Jacob Zuma. And that's what we are about in terms of the verdict. So if we had charged the MK party as a party, it would be something different. We charged our member, Jacob Zuma, whose membership was going to expire and up for renewal by December this year. So Dealing with the Jacob Zuma matter has not been an easy one in terms of how normally you deal with people who behave like him as members of the ANC, who choose to leave the party and then form a political party and work against the party openly and decampaign the party.
But how does the MK party justify, calling for another party to not expel somebody?
They're not, though. That's the thing. The MK party isn't trying to justify it. And it would seem that they're trying to, it's as though they're saying they're defending their president, which is why if you just take a cursory look on social media, people are asking, well, but don't you want the former president to lead the MK party since he's pledged allegiance, he's now the leader of this organization, and it's still not clear what he meant when he had said that he is forming the MK party to save the ANC, not given, especially now that they're the official opposition in parliament, for an example. It's not like that constituency of the MK party has been taken back to the ANC, so there isn't a justification. In fact, you would have seen it was through the MK party channels that they were calling for the disciplinary hearing of the ANC not to be virtual but to be held physically. So it's a curious case, and as many people have called it, double parking between two political parties.
I mean, speaking of that, what were the reasons behind the hearing being held virtually and not physically? Or did Twigila Mbalula say anything about
He didn't want to be drawn on it. He was asked the question to say, well, why didn't you? But he said, well, Jacob Zuma wanted a movie here. He wanted to turn his disciplinary hearing into a rally outside Luthuli House. But ultimately, it was the decision of the National Disciplinary Committee to actually decide how they would hold their proceedings. They declined his request, as you recall, because it was meant to be held earlier on in July, to have it held physically. And so that was the explanation. But ultimately for them, it's neither here nor there. The decision to charge him with 2 counts of misconduct and contravening Section 2517.4 of the ANC Constitution still stands.
Well, we'll see if he will indeed appeal as he is allowed. Ziyanda Ngcobo, thanks very much for your time.